Well, pilots are in the air over Central New York tonight doing final rehearsals for the Syracuse Air Show.
That includes the U.S. Army's Golden Knights parachute team. News Channel 9's Andrew Donovan got to join their flight today, and he is live from the airport. Andrew, you didn't jump, did you?
Absolutely not whatsoever. But it was a thrill to be sitting right next to them when, without hesitation, they got up and jumped out.
It's Sergeant Nicholas Berkner's first visit to Syracuse, and he's getting to know the landscape quickly.
It's incredibly freeing. It's a lot more peaceful than what most people would think, but it's very calming.
He was so calm that just moments before he jumped, Sergeant Berkner sat with us to chat.
We have a healthy respect for the sport. I wouldn't necessarily call it nervous, but we definitely take precautions in what we do. Safety is our #1 concern.
Berkner will free fall 10,000 feet, then deploy a chute, hitting a planned target the size of a dinner plate.
It's a lot like swimming. Every surface on your body that you move, or that because the wind is actually staying still, so your body is flying through it. So depending on how you deflect that wind will control your movements in the air.
For Berkner to hit his mark, the pilot has to time things perfectly.
I always set my watch here for the time that we're supposed to set the first jumper out, and if I feel my watch buzz right exactly at the moment that he says he's going out the door, that's always a really good feeling.
Captain Ben Fizel circles several times before giving the go-ahead to jump, and this weekend they do it with an audience.
It makes you a little bit more apprehensive about what you're doing, want to make sure everything's perfect, but you always try to make those landings just a little bit nicer, maybe make the takeoffs just a little bit smoother.
For this pilot, it will be a homecoming. Captain Fizel spent many summers in Syracuse, his mom born and raised here.
It's nice. I specifically requested to be able to come on this show so that I could be here with family watching.
A routine trip for the pilot, a first visit for the paratrooper, but the soldiers agree the best view is from above.
And I have to thank photographer Scott Irving, who was up in the plane with me, and Eddie Jones, who got those great shots from the ground. There are only 87 Americans capable of this kind of parachuting, and we are lucky in Central New York to have a few of them with us this weekend, along with amazing pilots, as you can see from all the planes behind me, Carrie.
Andrew, you said the paratrooper, he said he wasn't nervous, but what about you up there at 13,000 feet with that door wide open?
Yeah, the door was wide open and we had a great view of Central New York. And yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but they are so trained to do this that I felt safe. And it was so neat to see buildings like the Carrier Dome be about that size, the size of a quarter, so tiny in the distance. And up that high, it was cold, about 15 degrees. When they suggested I bring gloves, I did, and I'm sure glad I did.
All right, Andrew, thank you. And the Golden Knights performance times are not set in stone, but the airport tells us when you go to the air show, you'll want to be in place at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. both days. Wow.
What a show it will be. Would you like to jump out of a plane sometime?
You know what, Rod? There is not enough money on earth to get me to do it. But
you can take my place.
Would you do it?
No.
All right. Well, we'll watch from the ground.
I had my chance in the Army. I said no.